And so there are all sorts of interesting things going on here because, the mindfulness tradition, for instance, is only like 50 or 60 years old in the West, in the kind of formulation of it that is related to mindfulness-based stress reduction and other mindfulness-based interventions, and the whole science of mindfulness, which is very, very recent, maybe only 20 or 30 years old at the most. Okay, but in China, what we're talking about right now is over 1,500 years old. Some of the greatest articulations of this wisdom teaching, this dharma of mindfulness, so to speak, comes out of the Chinese Chan tradition. And imagine if somebody had the capacity to get close to Xi Jinping at the moment and remind him that what he does in the next week or two will make a difference for centuries, and that there are ancient Chinese traditions that are more powerful and more in alignment with the deep universal wisdom than really almost any other country has. He's sitting on top of that kind of a resource. Imagine if he actually woke up to it. Of course.
Well, I think my guess is he probably understands how powerful it is, which is why he's not bringing it up.
I don't know if he knows or not, but they do know in China. And they have a very interesting way. Now, of course, in many ways, their society is more repressive than Russian society, with the great firewall of China and what you can't say and everything else. But I'm talking like beyond the context of right now. We need a kind of orthogonal moment, and we can all undergo those kinds of orthogonal moments. But I don't want to give up on Xi Jinping actually, perhaps taking a look at Putin and saying, I don't want to be there. And I could very easily wind up there with my friend Putin and Stalin and Hitler and all those other dictators and aggressors who ultimately wind up losing, because there's a kind of natural law. You might call it the Tao. The Chinese would call it the Tao. There's a natural lawfulness that if you nurture this kind of evil and destruction, it comes right back to you in ways that the human mind is not smart enough to actually forecast or prognosticate. But these ancient wisdom practices have been around long enough to realize that it is cyclical and there are lessons to be learned.